Good morning students, welcome. In our previous video, we have seen the basic meaning of the organization. In that, we have seen the basic things, basic characteristics related to the organization. In today's video, we are going to see the basic characteristics which is essential in the business organization. Say for example, if you take an example of anything, there is some standard for that particular thing. For example, how one person can say that he is an ideal or not, how one thing is good or bad, how one situation is in favor or not in favor. Each and everything has some standard. So, in your business organization, how you can say that your business organization is good or not? So, according to that, today we are going to see the characteristics of ideal organization. How you can say that your business organization is an ideal organization, or in other words, in each and every organization, these common elements must be needed in the organization. So, let's see on the page number 208 in your book that characteristics of ideal organization. How you can say that your business organization is an ideal or not? In that, the first is given after examining the characteristics derived from the definitions of the organization. Now, let us examine the characteristics of ideal and good organization. The organization having the following characteristics is called the efficient, ideal, proper, and the best organization. If in your business organization, the characteristics which we are going to study, if this type of elements or this type of characteristics are in your business organization, at that time you can say that your business organization is the best organization. So in that, the first is given simplicity. Your business organization must be as simple as much as simple it can be. Because if your business organization is not simple, your business organization is complex to understand. At that time, there are very few persons or there are very few employees are in your business organization who can truly understand your organization. And once your business employees are not understand what is their duties, what your business organization work, how your business employees should work in the business, at that time you will not get the right benefit from your machines, from the employees and the all other aspects of the factors. In that, the first is given if an employee is able to properly understand the work allotted to him, then he would be able to carry out his duty properly. Once your business employees, the employees which are working in your business organization knows which duties must be performed by him or which type of task should be done by that particular employee. At that time, they can do better job. Say for example, in your study, if you know what is to be done, at that time you can do that very smartly. But if you don't know what is to be done in the study or in the any field, at that time you will not do the task properly. Say for example, after 10th standard, there is a number of students available in the education field who don't know. They are confused and worried about what to choose after 10 because they have number of alternatives available. normally people think this is not much beneficial, which is not right in the practical manner. Then the second option, which is commerce, which you all have choose. After that, they have another option, which is science. After that, they can choose diploma, they can choose industrial training institute ITI, or they can the person or the student have number of alternatives, number of choices available to them, and most of the students are confused between these three choices, and mostly students are confused between commerce and science. If they choose the science, many people or many students think science is very hard. They cannot survive in the science. If they choose commerce, at that time many people think that commerce is big, little important than the science. This type of confusion may arise in the business organization. But if any person is there who can give right guidance to the student, at that time they will not confused about choosing the right stream for the study. Same in the business organization. In the business organization, if any person has know what is to be done in the business organization and which type of work is to be done by that particular person, at that time it will be very simple for them to perform the task very properly. The second thing is deficit testing. Functions, authorities, responsibilities and duties should be specific and fixed. It means the perform which is task which is done by the employees, what is the duties of that particular employee, which responsibilities is assigned to that particular persons according to responsibilities, which type of authority is given to that particular persons, that particular employees. This all the thing must be defined in the organization, because one person know the responsibility but we don't know what is the authority of that person. At that time they cannot perform their task properly. So each and every task must be assigned properly. Every employee should be aware about his duty, responsibilities and authorities. Each and every employee which is working in a business organization know which duties or which tasks must be performed in the business organization by that particular employee. It should not be that anyone can do any work. कोई पर्टिकुलर गमे ते काम करे, this should not be done in the business organization. At the same time, the work should not be duplicated. This is also important. There should not be any work left out, and there should be not duplication of any work. In your business organization, say for example, from top to bottom, there are 100 type of work. In this type of work, you can add each and every one from sweeper job to managerial job. These all jobs are included in this 100. Out of them, each and every employee assigning their work, which employee do which type of work, and there should not be duplication of work. Every employee should not given the same work twice. This is also important in the business organization. At the same time, the work should not be duplicated. If it is done accordingly, then the responsibility of a particular person can be established. If this type of mistake or this type of error occurs in the business organization, at that time, the person who allocate work to the employee, that person's responsibility will be assigned to that particular error, that particular task. Then the next is scheduling. first line of the stability, they define how the stability is important in your life. Say for example, in your business or in your personal life, whether you choose your goal very clearly or not. Say for example, after 10, if you are thinking that you will you want to become a chartered accountant. So, if you want to become chartered accountant, at that time your path is very clear. First of all, after 10, you have to choose commerce. After 12th standard, you can choose chartered accountant field. You have to study chartered accountant, and after that, after clearing the examination of chartered accountant, you will become the chartered accountant. If your goal is clear, then this task can be done. But you are not clear whether you want to become chartered accountant or doctor. At that time, you have two options. If you want to become chartered accountant, at that time you will choose commerce. If you want to become doctor, MBBS or any other type of, at that time you have to choose science. After that, here you will get confused because once you get admission in the commerce, at that time the another option is not open for you. Say for example, in the after 10 you will become manager or you will become chartered accountant. At that time also you have two options. So you must be stable in your life. Whatever the goal of your business organization or whatever the policy of your business organization, that must be clear in your eyesight. Because once you are not clear what is to be done in the future, which policies should be framed in the business organization, at that time you will not get the right guidance and the right strategy to be particular things. Here you have given that instability means failure and stability means success. Unnecessary changes should not be made in the authority, duties and responsibilities once allocated to the employees. It means once you are assigning the task to your business employees, there is no frequent changes in that task and duties, because once you appointed any person as a chartered accountant. Oh, say for example, just account. After 1 month, the same person will assign another duty, that is, say for example, clerical work. After 2 months, that person will assign another work. At that time, that person and you both are very confused and very worried about which task is to be assigning and which task is to be done in that particular thing. So your business organization must be stable. Once your duty, your authority, your responsibility will be assigned, all other things and all other aspects must remain stable. It reduces the enthusiasm and spirit of the employees, which results into inefficiency. Substantially, stability brings in success. It means if this type of work is done in your business organization, it will create less enthusiasm environment in your business organization, and ultimately this leads to failure in your business organization. After that, flexibility. You can connect these both the dots. If you are flexible, it means there is a stability in your business organization. Say for example, if you are not changing in your business environment at all, this is not right at all the time, because where you are assigning tasks, duties, authorities, at that time it must be stable. But if there is a needed or if there is any changes occurs in the environment of the business and the environment or type of the business, at that time you must change some policy in your business organization. So changes should be brought into the organization as per the changing situation. That means it should be flexible to absorb changes. It means if there is any changes occurs in the environment of the business organization, environment of the market or environment of the country, at that time you should change in the environment and in the policy of your business organization in some extent. If you are continuously rigid, you are not ready to change anything at all. Once your policy is framed, there will be no change at all, whatever the situation is in the market or is in the country. Say for example, before some years, Indian government implement GST. You all are aware about GST. What is the full form of GST? We all know that is goods and services. And it is compulsory for all the traders in the India to implement to accept these goods and services. If there is any trader available in the market or available in the India who are not ready to accept GST, at that time that trader have only one choice, and that is left market. There is no other options available to that particular trader. So if there is any changes occurs in the environment of the business, in the environment of the market, or in the environment of the country policy, at that time there must be change in some extent. Along with stability, flexibility as per changing time and situation should be essential. By making changes in the organization in consonance with economic, political and social changes, it can maintain the employee morale and efficiency. It means if there is any changes occurs in the business organization, whether it is related with economic, whether it is related with the political, whether it is related to financial or any other. If there is any changes occurs in the business organization, you must change according to the changes in the environment after that efficiency. I think this is one of the most important thing, because once you choose your organization and you did all other things, but if your organization is not efficient, at that time whatever the policy, whatever the target, whatever the objective of your business organization, that is not effect in your business organization at all. In that an organization is structured in which like people are arranged. The organization should be set up in such a manner that ability to every employee should be best utilized and maximum production is made at minimum cost. It means in your business organization, whatever and how much amount of the business employees are working in your business organization, that all the persons, that all the employees must be utilized properly. Because if you cannot utilize it properly your maximum sources, at that time your employees or your business organization will not get the proper return, whatever he work or whatever the level of that particular thing. So in your business organization, how many resources available to you, each and every resources must be utilized properly. After that, development convenience. Development convenience. It should have such a setup that with the development of business, there should be development of organization also. The changes of development should be made in such a manner that the efficiency of the organization is not put to pain. Pain means any problem, any problem not to it should have such a setup that with the development of business, your organization should be developed. It means your business and your development both must be developed with your policies. Say for example, you will get benefit or you will get profit every year, but your business organization is not developing day by day. Say for example, in the first year of your business, you are getting 1 lakh rupee profit. After that, or in the second term or in the second year, you have get 1 lakh 10,000. After the third year, after the second year, in the third year, you get 1 lakh 15,000 profit. Is this proper? Is this okay? No, this is not right at all the time, because your business organization profit must be increased as much as you can. So, in your business organization, your business and your business organization both developing simultaneously. After that, human importance. Mind your man will mind everything for you. તમે તમારા માણસોને સાચો, તમારા માણસો તમારું બધું જ સાચવશે. The organization should be set up keeping in center the humanity. Because in comparison to other sources, person has more importance for the success of the organization. It means wherever you clear or wherever you make the organization in your business organization, at that time there is only one live element in your business organization, and that is your employee. If you will not taken into consideration your employees properly, at that time your employees will not get the proper benefit. They will have distrust on you, and once distrust creates in the mind of your employees, it will very risky to gain the profit or gain the benefit from the business organization. So wherever you create the organization, your life element, which is human, must be taken into consideration. There is a saying, mind your man and man will mind other things. That means mind your man will mind anything for you. તમે તમારા માણસોને સાચું, તમારા માણસો તમારું બધું જ સાચવશે. If you will take care of your business employees, and after that your employee will take care of all other things in your business organization. After that, coordination. There must be coordination in your business organization. Coordination is the precondition of cooperation. Proper coordination system among all the employees and the functions of different departments prevents clash and obtains cooperation. Cooperation brings in efficiency. It means in your business organization, if there is no cooperation between two departments, say for example, there is no cooperation between selling department and purchase department, selling department and production department, budget department and finance department. Say for example, in your business organization, if you produce many things, many goods, but your selling department is not ready to sell that, at that time your production will not sold, and ultimately your business organization will suffer the loss. So same for the business employees. If there is a two manager does not have harmony amongst them, whatever the conflict or whatever the clash happens between them, and from that clash they both are not ready to work with each other, at that time also ultimately your business organization will suffer the loss. So coordination is the soul of the management. Coordination must be prevented in your business organization. After that, balance. After that, ideal organization should be balanced from every point of view. Proper balance should be maintained between the authority, responsibilities, and duties of employees and authorities. Little fluctuation of authority and responsibility can handle the efficiency. It means whatever the authorities and responsibilities given to your employees, there must be proper balance between authority and responsibility. It means if you are giving any person more authority and less responsibility, at that time that person will work more. That person has a more power to work in the business organization. This is not right. On the other hand, if you are assigning more responsibility, more duties to any person, and that person not get the proper authority to do the work, at that time that person will not work according to their power, according to their efficiency. This is what the situation is very crucial for your business organization. So wherever you assigning duties and responsibilities to your business employees, each and every employee must be taken balance in the business organization. After that, specialization. The 10th point is specialization. As per the principles of division of labor and specialization, work should be distributed to the employees so that expert knowledge of employees can be utilized, efficiency increases and expenses reduces, which prove to be beneficial to the business enterprise. It means in your business organization, each and every employee assigning task, and that task should be in that manner that whatever the expertise of that particular person, according to expertise, the task should be maintained or task should be assigned to that particular person. Say for example, if you will assign clerical duty to the accountant, if any person is good in the selling and you assigning the task of the financing, if any person can do good leading, but you assigning the task of other things, at that time you will not get the proper benefit of that expertise. Whatever the expertise is in your business employees, you must assign task as per the expertise of your business organization. And once you assign the task as per the expertise of your business organization, this will create efficiency in your business organization and it will lead to the success of your business enterprise. And after that, the last point of the ideal organization, that is just and proper distribution of authority and responsibilities. Just and proper distribution for what? For authorities and responsibilities. Whatever the authorities and responsibilities you assign to any person, that is kind, that is proper. No person should discriminate while you are assigning the authorities and responsibilities. For just and proper distribution of authority and responsibilities, following steps should be taken. While you are assigning the task and duties to your business employees, following instruction and following points should be taken into consideration. The first point is proper attention should be paid to all the workers, small or big. Whatever the person is, whether it is working on lower level or whether it is working on higher level, each and every employee must taken into consideration while you are assigning the task. The distribution of rights, authorities and duties should be clearly done. There should not be any misunderstanding or confusion about it. That means whatever the right of that particular things in who you assigning the task, right, duties and responsibility must be clearly defined in the duty list, so that particular person will not misguided or not misunderstand regarding their duties. After that, responsibility should not be entrusted without right. This is also important. If you are assigning responsibility without right, if that person does not have any right to perform the task in the business organization, at that time that person will not work or that not do that particular task. So the responsibilities and the rights should be in the equality. The rights and duties of employees should be in accordance with their capacity and qualification. Whatever the qualification is of a business organization or whatever the capacity of a business employee, you should assign the task according to the qualification of a business organization, sorry, business employee. Proper arrangement of coordination in the whole organization should be there. It means each and everything must have arrangement which must be properly assigned to that particular thing. So these are the basic characteristics which makes your business organization ideal. So while you are creating the organization, this